What you're about to hear might change the way you see the world. But before we begin, subscribe to Tony's Horror Stories so you're not alone when the darkness returns. Top 5 Unsolved True Horror Stories that Still Haunt the World. Some stories aren't just disturbing, they're true. Tonight, we dive into 5 of the most chilling, unsettling, and mind-bending unsolved cases ever recorded. These are not tales told around campfires or written by horror novelists. These are real accounts, backed by evidence, by trauma, and by questions no one has ever answered. From mysterious disappearances in remote regions to unexplained resurrections to possible reincarnations, each one is a window into a part of the world that refuses to be understood. These cases have puzzled seasoned investigators, fascinated skeptics, and terrified readers for decades. Let's start with one of the most infamous cold cases in history, a mystery frozen in time and snow, the Dyatlov Pass Incident. The Dyatlov Pass Incident, Russia, 1959. In the dead of winter, 9 experienced Soviet hikers set out into the remote and treacherous Ural Mountains. Days passed, then weeks, with no word. A search party was launched. What they found shocked the world. The group's tent was discovered, slashed open from the inside. Personal belongings were left behind, untouched. And the bodies? Scattered across the snowy terrain. Some were found nearly naked in temperatures well below zero. One hiker's skull was crushed. Another had her tongue and eyes missing. Several showed internal injuries with no external trauma. Then came the radiation. Their clothing showed inexplicable traces. One man's skin was orange. Another's hair had turned gray. No signs of a struggle. No footprints but their own. Just silence and death. Official explanations have ranged from an avalanche to military weapons testing, infrasound-induced panic, and even Yeti encounters. None hold up to scrutiny. Over 6 decades later, the Dyatlov Pass remains one of the most chilling and enigmatic events in modern history, a perfect storm of the unexplained. The Pollock twins, United Kingdom, 1957. Joanna and Jacqueline Pollock were just 11 and 6 years old when a tragic car accident took their lives in Hexham, England. Their parents were devastated. A year later, their mother gave birth to twin girls, Jennifer and Gillian. As the twins grew, strange things began to happen. Jennifer had birthmarks identical to Jacqueline's. Gillian would describe places in vivid detail she had never visited, but Joanna had. Both girls began asking for toys that had belonged to their deceased sisters, calling them by name. They even showed fear toward cars, screaming that they were going to be hit. Their parents, devout Catholics, began to believe they were witnessing reincarnation firsthand. As word spread, the case attracted the attention of psychologists and paranormal researchers. What disturbed many was the precision of the memories, locations, objects, routines, all too exact to be chance. As the girls reached the age their sisters had died, the memories slowly faded. But for years, their lives were shaped by events they should have never remembered. Coincidence? Collective grief? Or had Joanna and Jacqueline truly come back? The disappearance of Lars Mittank, Germany, Bulgaria, 2014. Lars Mittank was just a regular young man on vacation with friends in Bulgaria. A minor ear injury kept him from flying home, so he stayed behind alone. Then, things started to spiral. He became paranoid, called his mother in a panic, said someone was following him. He switched hotels, sent strange texts. Security footage from Varna Airport shows him walking calmly through the terminal, and then suddenly, violently sprinting out the door, leaving all his belongings behind. He disappeared into nearby woods and was never seen again. Investigators combed the area. No trace. His backpack, passport, wallet, all left behind. Online sleuths uncovered searches on his phone. What happens if someone drugs your food and sleeping pills safe for ear infection? Some believe he had a psychotic break. Others say something, or someone, was after him. The footage of him running, wild-eyed, out of a secure airport terminal remains one of the most disturbing final sightings of a missing person in modern times. The silent town of João Verde, Brazil, 1923. Imagine an entire village simply vanishing. In 1923, in the Brazilian state of Amazonas, the town of João Verde ceased to exist. Over 600 residents disappeared overnight. When investigators arrived, they found no bodies, no signs of violence. Fires still burned in stoves. Meals sat uneaten. Tools lay mid-use. Pets were starving, abandoned. It was as if the villagers had just walked away. The only clue? A chilling message scrawled on a chalkboard in the schoolhouse. There is no salvation. Speculation ran wild. Was it a religious cult? Government cover-up? Mass alien abduction? Despite extensive searches, not a single person from the town was ever found. Even the surrounding tribes claimed no knowledge. Today, João Verde is more legend than location. A ghost town swallowed by jungle and fear. The woman who froze to death and came back. USA, 1980. It was a brutal Minnesota winter. Jean Hilliard's car skidded off the road. With no help in sight, she walked through the snow and collapsed. 6 hours later, she was found, frozen stiff, her face pale blue, her skin so solid a needle couldn't pierce it. Her body temperature was so low it didn't register. Doctors pronounced her clinically dead. Then she blinked. Jean came back to life, and within days made a complete recovery. No brain damage, no organ failure. Medical science still has no answer. Hypothermia of that degree should have killed her several times over. She remembers only fragments, cold, darkness, a strange sense of floating. Today, Jean lives a quiet life, a miracle wrapped in mystery. Some stories will never have answers. They whisper from the shadows, daring us to look deeper. But the deeper we look, the darker it gets. From the icy mountains of Russia to a frozen road in Minnesota, from reincarnated memories to entire towns lost to time. The world holds more questions than we'll ever answer. These 5 cases are more than creepy tales. They're real, unsolved, alive in the minds of those they touched. So next time something feels off, a noise in the attic, a face in the crowd, a story that feels too strange, maybe you're not imagining it. Good night. You made it to the end. That says something. If this story made you glance over your shoulder, leave a like, subscribe to Tony's Horror Stories, and keep a little light nearby while you still can.